So, well, I'm Marin Bicomia here with you. We have two special guests. They are Becley Warkentin and Shawn Henn from Canada on a world tour with a bike.
Hello, my name is Shawn Henn.
Hi, I'm Becley Warkentin.
Also, we have our managing director MD Borwasar with us. So, sir will discuss further with that.
So you are on a world tour.
We are.
From Canada. Okay. So you started your bike from which place? Australia, as you have been told.
So, in the beginning of May, we flew to Australia, to Sydney, Australia, and with the help of some Australian friends, we ended up purchasing a couple motorbikes in Australia, BMW GSs, and toured around Australia for almost 3 months. And then we ended up shipping our bikes to Malaysia and continued our travels on from there.
Okay. So Mr. Shawn Henn, so what is your objective of these travels? Pollutions you have faced? What kind of obstacles you have faced during the travels?
Well, when we were in Australia, I had a crash.
Okay.
That was definitely a big obstacle. We were going through the snowy mountains of Australia, and I wiped out on the bike, and I broke my hand, and I broke my collarbone, a couple of ribs.
Okay.
And I was.
But still riding, huh?
Yes, it was difficult to ride with a broken hand and a clutch, but we were able to do it. That's definitely one obstacle that's happened throughout. When we shipped the bikes from Brisbane to Kuala Lumpur, we thought that we would go to Bali to check out Bali while we were waiting on the bikes, and I got really sick in Bali.
So coming back to India,
Yep.
you entered India through which part of the country?
We came through Myanmar, Burma. We started in Moreh of India and have traveled through Imphal, Dimapur, and have come across to Guwahati now.
Okay. So during your travels, you say that you have traveled for 4 months.
Yes.
So what kind of social and economical things you have observed among the populations of different countries?
Oh man, I mean, we see the gamut of every kind of population. You see people very, very poor living in tiny shacks, and you see these big, beautiful houses that are being built out of nowhere, and you just don't even. There's a real discrepancy between the different types of lifestyles that people have and what we've seen. It's really amazing. Because people you still see people living in a shack and playing with the dog or something, and they're still happy. Even though they probably have a very hard life. But it's fascinating to see how all of the different cultures are changing as well. And even in a place like Myanmar, where they don't have a lot of infrastructure yet, but you can see that things are growing and moving, and they have roads now, more roads and gas stations, and everything's kind of changing for them in a completely different way, and so it's fascinating.
So I didn't hear saying you about India. What do you feel in India?
India's
In Myanmar, in Moreh, when you entered from Moreh, then
Yeah.
you come to Manipur.
Well, there's a lot more mountains than we thought there was going to be in this part of India, but
You said, you mentioned somewhere that some people ask you to take precautions when coming from Moreh to Imphal. So what was
Definitely.
that like?
So when we crossed the border, it took a while to process everything on the Myanmar side. So we weren't able to cross until about 2:00 in the afternoon. So we were told to stay
in Moreh.
in Moreh and then sleep there that night, and then go through the mountains during the day, not try and travel at night. So.
There was many checkpoints.
Many checkpoints.
Many checkpoints.
We
Many
crossed
checkpoints.
at least 7 or 8
What
checkpoints.
questions were asked when you passed through the checkpoints?
We had to provide our passports at each checkpoint,
Okay.
and our information was noted, just to make sure, I think, that we were who we said we were. So yeah, there was at least 7 or 8 from the time we came in to India to go through the mountains in that part on the way to Imphal. But once we made it to Imphal, things sort of calmed down, I think, quite a bit. There was less
So you was
protection
comfortable
there.
during these checkpoints?
Yeah,
During the checks and
the police and the military were very nice. They were very good and kind, and
all? Okay.
yeah.
Well, and as Canadians, it is like when you first pull up, and there's guns and everyone's standing there, and it's like we've never had to deal with that before, right? So it is, but like Becky said, it was.
Yeah, people were very kind. It was actually quite okay. Yeah, it was. But we travel during the day. We don't travel at night. We're
Okay.
not.
And I think once they found out we were Canadians, it was a different story too. So if people, I hate to say this, but if people mistake us for Americans, it's different. You know,
Okay.
like,
Okay. So this weather is suitable for you for traveling?
Well,
it's hot. It's very hot, especially for a bigger guy like me. It's it is we're getting climatized, but it's definitely
You
hot.
are getting accustomed.
yes,
Whatever
yes.
food problem you have, or you are satisfied with the foods and water?
The food's actually been quite good. I mean, at home we have Indian curry. You know,
Oh,
fairly
really?
regular. Yes.
You like Indian
Yes.
curries? You know how to cook?
No, I'm very bad at it.
Okay.
I mean, I try, and then it doesn't turn out near as good.
Oh.
So we order from Indian restaurants
Okay, good.
regularly, and it's
So then there is no problem in India regarding food.
no, you have good food.
Well, one thing, I can't have wheat. Like I'm a celiac, so I can't have wheat. So it's been
Yeah.
trying at times. So I've been
No bread or
no bread or naan
noodles.
bread or anything like that. So I've been living off of chicken and rice more or less. But yeah, but it's been really good.
Okay, now it's time for a commercial break. Okay, now we are coming back to our special program by discussing on world tour, a true friend from Canada.
Once again, may I know what is your schedule like? What is the route you are going to follow for this world tour by bike?
Well, we have started obviously in Australia, and we're going to continue going west through India into Pakistan, Iran, over to Turkey, and then head south down through Africa. And then once we get to South Africa, we're actually going to ship the bikes over to South America and drive north through South America and go all the way back to Canada. So it's going to be a little bit of a long journey, but a good one.
And we have found that when you ship bikes, it's actually more cost effective to fly them than it is to put them on a boat.
Okay.
With a boat, you have to wait, a long time in
Weeks.
order for the bikes to get there, and it's a lot easier to process the paperwork in an airport rather than a seaport. So it works out quite well to fly them rather than to put them on a boat.
One thing amazes me, like you are from a place where there is winter now, if I'm not wrong. So you are traveling through places where there is extreme humid, extreme hot. So how do you cope yourself with these different temperatures and climate?
Lots of water.
Okay.
Yes, we drink a lot of water, take regular breaks, and try and find cold water if we can to cool ourselves down because we get quite warm.
And we both ride with gear, so we've noticed a lot of people don't ride with gear.
Protective clothing.
But we still have protective clothing. We still have our helmets on, our jackets on, our pants on, our boots on. And we'd much rather, if something was to happen, have the gear on and be a little hotter than to be riding in a t-shirt per se.
So during this tour, one of the major aspects is finance. So is there any sponsorship you have taken for this tour, or you have financed yourself?
We're financing it ourselves.
Yes,
Financing yourself.
yes.
So I always say to people that when we get back to Canada, we'll probably be broke and have to get jobs.
So we have a lot of bikers here. So for them, I just want to ask you, suppose if anybody wants to go for a world tour on a bike, so what should the finance they have to arrange?
The thing about touring the world with a motorbike is you can have almost any budget. if you really want to go, you can go on a little budget, and you just adjust where you stay, what you eat.
You can camp instead of staying in hotels. You can cook your own food. It is actually relatively inexpensive to travel.
Yeah.
When you think about camping, you've got fuel, you've got maintenance on the motorbikes, and then again there would be the
So
cost.
what might be the budget, minimum budget should be, like if somebody wants to put themselves camp and all? Sometimes
it's just,
staying in a hotel, carrying a bike.
well,
So with what budget a person should be ready?
you'd have to. We just have a double conversion to the Indian rupee as well, but
in
sort
dollars it's okay.
of
In dollars it's okay.
US dollars. I would say like at minimum,
Probably 100,000
well,
for two.
for two people probably $100,000.
Yeah, $100,000.
So $100,000 for two.
Yeah.
Give or take.
Maybe.
You know, like that would be if you're staying, if you're flying the bikes from different continents.
There's a lot of shipping
You got to
costs.
fly yourself,
Ah.
right? There's lodging, there's maintenance, there's insurance, there's all the things that are required when doing that.
But people also do shorter stints too. So just doing like Africa, or just doing, South and North America, or so you don't have to do the whole world all at once.
Okay.
We have decided to just make it all the way around because this is sort of
Oh.
our one shot to go.
Okay.
But and then also staying depends what countries you're in. So when you're in Asia and Africa, it's less expensive than Europe.
Euro. Yes.
So just kind of rerouting your trip kind of to make it affordable is a thing you can do as well. But
And there's also the motorcycle community.
Yes.
Like people have seen that we're out traveling around, and everyone's offered to stay at their house, or
been
like,
so kind.
if we've had issues with the bikes, we've been invited to people's garages to work on the bikes, and it's just been amazing that way. Like it's just the motorcycle
So
community
you
itself.
mean to say that we can get a lot of roadside helps?
Oh
Mhm.
yes.
If
Oh,
you are
big
a
time.
world tour,
For
then
sure.
you get help. Though.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of connection online with other people that are touring the world, or people that are watching who is touring the world. And if you're in their area, they're really happy to see you and bring you into their community and whatnot. So
Like
So
there's
a lot of people.
one question I just want to know, one thing I want to know from you, like people in the world shouting war against each other. But what do you feel regarding peace during your tour? Do you think that common people likes war?
No, there's so many good people. We haven't.
Still good people?
We've been in quite a few countries so far, and I mean we have expensive bikes and we have expensive gear, and people are so kind. We haven't met anyone trying to steal from us or rip us off or anything. Everyone, like, there's good people. So much of the world is filled with good people. And it's crazy when you go, especially with countries that are at war, that are neighbors, it's just, you see cultures that are so similar, and then they're fighting, and I just can't see why. I mean, you share the land. Like, I mean, the land is beautiful, and they've lived there for centuries, and I don't know. I mean, in Canada, we don't have much war in Canada because it's a peaceful nation, and we don't have any conflict because there was no land wars before.
After hearing you, what my personal feeling is like, if we arrange, the whole community arrange this kind of bike tour, world bike tour, I think the message of peace will be there. Peace and harmony, we can work in that way.
Everybody's the same, honestly. Like the one thing that we've really noticed, no matter what country you go to, all the people are the same. Everybody is just trying to live their life, and we go to work, and we take care of our kids, and we take care of your family, and everybody's goal is the same, to try and live as happy a life as they can. And
what we've noticed is that we're all in this together. All of us, it doesn't matter where you live, and like Becky said, like we're all just trying to make our way through life.
So finally, last question, my question is like, what is your message to the world? What will be your message to the world regarding this bike tour? Spread the word of peace?
Yeah, we just really want people to know that everybody's the same. No matter where you go in the world, people are good, and be kind to one another.
And Mr. Henn, anything from you? You said something about pollution regarding global warming.
Well, it is concerning, you know, like we were talking earlier, and we mentioned that, you know, there's less snow in Canada than there is, and it's the climate is warmer now here than it was in years past. Like, the world itself is changing, no matter what, you know, whether people.
So like our two major problems is, one is global warming and other is peace. So if we have a rally like this global rally, then I think we can spread the message of peace and global warming more effectively. That is my personal feeling.
For sure.
Okay? So thanking you for
Thank
coming
you.
all the
Thank
way
you.
and having you in our studio.
We thanks to the two bikers from Canada, Becley, Warkentin and Shawn Henn for sharing with us about their world tour beautiful journey. We from the PI News wishing them a good luck for concluding their world tour successfully. Thank you.